Hi guys, so now we are going to do a video of how we prepare our preferred method of pour over hand brew here at Tamp in the shop. Our preferred method is to use the Clever Dripper. This is because it creates more consistency amongst the different baristas who are using it. One of the hardest things to achieve in a coffee shop is consistency. Every hand that makes every coffee will have an impact on flavor as they're all made differently. But what we've tried to do with the Clever Dripper is reduce the amount of inconsistencies, keeping a more standard level throughout. These Clever Drippers are also available to buy on our website, on our web shop, and we are going to be using today this Antonio Mazzo fermented Brazilian coffee, which has just landed on our web shop also. It's absolutely delicious. What I'm going to show you here is just the basic steps of how we make our pour overs. With the filter paper, you want to grab them. It's really important to give 2 folds before you put them into the Clever Dripper. You want to fold once along here, like that. And you want to fold once again along the bottom. This is going to make it sit nice and snug inside the Clever Dripper, just like that. Next thing we're going to do is we want to wet the paper. This is going to get rid of all of that starchy flavor. And it's also going to give a bit of temperature to the device itself, raising it slightly. So we get the coffee going here. The ratio we're going to be using is the same ratio we always do, which is 17 to 300. So that means 17 grams of coffee and 300 grams of water. Importantly, there's several ways you can use the Clever Dripper. The 2 main techniques are either coffee first and water on top, which is what we did for many years here, until recently I came across a James Hoffman video where he showed this technique developed by Workshop that we really liked, which is water first. So that's the method we're going to go with now. The only thing I need to mention with the water first method is that it does extract slightly shorter or under than the traditional coffee first method, and I noticed the difference in flavor. So a way to deal with that is either to increase the steep time, or you can reduce the grind size, go a little bit finer, creating more surface area, extracting more flavor in the same amount of time. And that is what we've decided to do now. So what I'm going to do here is we are going to add the water, 300 grams straight in. 300 grams of water, and we're going to tare, and then we're going to add our 17 grams of coffee, spread it out evenly, and then importantly you want to get all of this coffee on the top wet. Don't want any dry bits sitting on the top. Give it a nice little stir, and then just sit and wait for a couple of minutes. Now, Clever Drippers do come with lids. Personally, we don't use them here. You can if you want. I don't think it changes the flavor, but you're more than happy to do so. We just prefer less items flying around the bar when you're in a rush. Okay, once you're up to your 2 minutes, the next thing you want to do is you want to break this crust. So this crust, which is formed along the top, you want to break. You want to let all of the coffee particles sink down. Just give it a few seconds there for it to settle. And then you're ready to go with the extraction. And what you'll see with the water first method is that when it extracts, the color of the liquid coming out is much lighter, and it gets darker as more extracts. It's a bit odd to begin with, but you'll see it kind of balances out as it would with any other extraction. And the other thing to note with the water first method is that the coffee extracts a lot faster than with the coffee first method, and this is another benefit to using this method. Especially when you're in a rush, you get 3 or 4 of these ordered while you've got 10 coffees waiting to go on the machine. And if you look at the bed of coffee that's coming up, it's nice and flat. Nice and flat bed, nice even extraction. You're all done. And here we go. Wow. That is absolutely outstanding coffee. Delicious.